you talked about what you have to do. It's been a problem for you guys. Slow starts have been a problem for you guys for a while, even when you were successful. Can you put a finger on why it's happening? Is there any reason that I'm sure you've thought about it, but why is it happening?
I don't know. Like probably going back to my last answer, we just got to go and we can't let them dictate what they want to do initially. We got to go and dictate it ourselves. That's probably the best answer I can got for you.
Thanks, Pat, for that. Let's go next to Ben Jones and Dave Eckert. You're on deck.
Pat, last year, and really, can you hear me? Am I unmuted?
Are you good?
All right.
You good?
Last year, and even before you were at Penn State's offense had been sort of a very attacking, kind of quick, a little bit up tempo. And now you guys have these 5 or 6, 6.5 minute long drives. Do you feel like you lose some of the edge there when you guys are that methodical? Is there something lost in that when it takes that long to move the ball down the field?
Nah, I think it's a good strategy by us, but we also got to, get back to creating explosive plays and that methodical stuff is great, but we got to go back and we got to make plays happen. We got to break tackles. We got to get yak, and we just got to execute. When the ball comes our way, we got to make plays. And it just goes back to everyone trying to do too much and trying to play outside the framework of the offense. We got to block who we're responsible for. We got to block them in the correct technique. And I think if we do that, then we're going to be able to create more explosives. And if we run our routes at the right depth, then we're going to be able to create the most explosive plays that we can.
Dave Eckert, you're next. Nate Bauer, you're on deck.
Hi, Pat. Thanks for your time. I was just wondering, do you think these first half deficits are, impacting the offense, and whether it's plan or execution moving into the second half? And if so, how? Thanks.
Obviously getting down that much that early is never ideal, and it's a killer. But we gotta, like I said earlier, we gotta come out and start faster, and we gotta execute a little better, and we gotta dictate what we want to do. We gotta come out and just figure it out. We can't get in a hole like that because it's tough to climb out of. I think in the second half that we did a great job executing our game plan and doing things that we needed to do. And I think that goes back to Will coming in with a great, giving us a great spark. But we got to go back and we got to figure some stuff out.
Nate Bauer, you're next, and then we go back to Ben Furry.
Pat, I think you've talked about playing outside the framework of the offense and trying to do too much. Like that seems like something you've said just about every week. Can you explain for the non-football people what that means? What goes into that?
Yeah. So for an example, if our count in a run game is a specific person and then they're blitzing another person off the corner of your eye and you're not responsible for him, then you can't block him because maybe you're thinking that he's gonna mess up the play, but he's really not because we got another guy blocking him. So we got to make sure that we keep discipline with our eyes, and we got to keep discipline to play so we can block and execute the right play. So we just got to go back and we got to watch that on film, and we just got to hold each other accountable. It's we can't do that. It's bad. It's bad football, and it just looks stupid. So we got to figure it out.
Ben Furry, go ahead. Tyler Donahue, you're up next.
What is the message right now in the locker room? Because the last couple of weeks it was, we'll fix the mistakes, we'll figure it out, we'll get better by Saturday, but the same result has been occurring.
Yeah, the message is just, continue to fight and can't give up. We got, I think, 4 or 5 more games to go out there and execute. And, we can still, not have the season we want, but we can still end up with a winning record. And we got to go out and we got to take what's ours. We just can't let ourselves get down in the hole like that and expect to come back and win the game, even though we had the opportunities. I feel like obviously that was like with Indiana, and same with, to be honest, really every game. In the second half, we kind of picked it up in the first couple minutes and scored and put ourselves in positions to win, but we just got to figure it out how to get over that hump and get a W.
Thanks, Ben. Tyler, let's go to you next. And Mike Poorman, you're up after Tyler.
How would you describe the dynamics that you saw take place between Will and Sean on the sideline today when Will checked in? And Sean seemed quite engaged for the remainder of the game. I'm sorry if you already asked about this earlier, but what did you see today, and what does their relationship over the last few years do for this team moving forward with an open competition?
Yeah, I mean, both guys just want to win. So, I mean, Cliff obviously knew that he wasn't having his best game, but he came out and he's going to support Will with whatever he needs to do and whatever to help the team win. And that's why Cliff's one of our captains, and that's why we look up to Cliff as a leader. He's going to, really want to get the win. He's going to do whatever it takes to get the win. And if that was him on the sideline and trying to digest defenses for Will and help Will be successful, that's what Cliff's going to do. So I think that, they have a great friendship and they really feed off each other and they learn from each other. So Cliff did a great job helping Will out and vice versa.
We'll go 2 more questions for Pat. Mike Porman, Neil Rudell. Mike, please go ahead. And then Neil, you're up last.
Thanks, Rose. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. Pat, at 22, you're one of the older guys in the team, and you're around at 18 with people like Trace and Nick Scott. This is a really young team. Could you assess its maturity level and its youth and how that may impact dealing with everything this year?
Yeah, I mean, we can't let youth be an excuse. I mean, those guys, they came here for a reason. They came here to win football games, and they came here to play in big-time moments. And you can't use the whole "we're young" excuse, because at the end of the day, no one cares about that. Only thing people care about is wins and losses. And right now, obviously, we haven't had any wins, but we can't use that the youth movement or youth whatever as an excuse. We just got to have kids grow up, and we can't. It's the little things off the field that is just frustrating, and we just got to figure those out.
What do you mean by little things off the field?
Just stuff that we've never done. Just showing up late to stuff, or not just not doing things that Coach Franklin has preached to us to be successful, not only in football but in life. We just gotta keep holding each other accountable to that.
Thanks, Pat.
Pat, thanks for that answer. Neil Rudell, you have the last question for Pat.
Hey, thanks, Rose. Hey, Pat, last week you mentioned about the energy level. I'm sorry if you were asked this already, but did you notice a difference today, particularly in the second half? Were you satisfied with that part of the performance?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we guys got to stay more consistent with our energy. I mean, when stuff's not going right, we got to be able to stay even with that energy and not get down and not get too high or get too low. And when things are going well, we got to continue that energy. I think it was when the defense started making plays and we started making plays on offense, we were able to sustain some energy. But we just can't lose that when things aren't going right. I mean, that's my biggest thing is kind of we got to take when things aren't going well and kind of bring some energy and execute off that.
Pat, thank you very much for your time. Thank you, everybody.